talked to you a couple of weeks ago, but tell me how you're feeling right now.
Well, it's exciting. We had basically 3 weeks of camp, leading into playing the first game, and we need the first game. It's we've been going against each other offensively and defensively and special teams, so it's time to get a new opponent in there. But our guys are excited to go out and play and see what this version of the team can be. And so it's exciting times. Our kids are, ready to get on that plane and go play a football game.
Yeah, it was my first time ever kind of going to your practice a couple weeks ago, and one thing I saw was how versatile your group is, especially at the quarterback room. Tell me how special that room is, in your opinion, right now.
Well, top to bottom, it's as deep as we've ever been at quarterback. I mean, hands down. We've done a good job of developing players over the years. We had a transfer come in this year that's been developed, and then getting into our program in the spring helped out a ton with his continued development and what we do offensively. So from top to bottom, Coach Kilmer's done an unbelievable job of developing not just the quarterback room, but the offense in general, just top to bottom what we're doing. But that room is definitely special. There's a lot of kids in that room that can win a bunch of football games here.
Absolutely. Just have a couple more for you. Another thing that stuck out to me was your offensive linemen. A lot of them like to pull and get out in space.
Yeah.
Tell me, I know obviously your game plan differs from game to game, week to week, but philosophically, are you kind of a little bit more free with this group in particular, being how athletic they are?
Yeah, I mean, we lost some good ones off of last year in that group, and we made sure that we recruited over the last 2 years to get those numbers where they need to be. And the commitment that the top 10 guys, 11, 12 guys have done this summer in getting their body right and ready to go. A lot of them stayed here this summer, took classes, a couple of them working on their master's degrees, and then being with their teammates and working out. And we just are in a lot better shape. From top to bottom, again, in that O-line group, we'll travel 11 guys this week, and all 11 can play for us and do well. So we don't feel there's a huge drop-off in that depth in that room. But a lot of experience in there. We lost a couple good ones, but at the same time, pretty good group.
And my last one for you. You told me that Angelo will win a national championship because you guys do everything the right way. Do you feel like, this Thursday is the beginning of that run for y'all?
Well, there's no doubt. If you do things the right way and continue to recruit the way you're supposed to do, and that's what the ultimate goal is. If we win a national championship, it's because of the guys we're recruiting, how we're doing it, how we're building the program, and then the execution of when they get here. You can find great football players throughout the state, but if they're not the right fit for what you're looking for and what your program's trying to accomplish, they're not always the best fit on that part. So, definitely, if we continue to do things the right way, we're going to work towards that goal of ultimately winning a national championship.
A huge 2022 season, 12-1, a trip to the quarterfinals. What has the message been these past few weeks in the locker room leading up to this week to really just keep the ball rolling with this new group?
Yeah, we definitely are proud of what we've done in the past, but we do have to move on from that. And we're gonna talk about that though. We're gonna talk about the experiences and what it took to get there. In 12-1, and obviously the one you think about in those 13 games is the one. So we got to continue to get better and better. But this group is going to put a new stamp on the season. It's a different team. There's a lot of different changes in there with personnel and that part. So we talk about that, but at the same time, it's exciting leading into this. We know what we're capable of doing as a group and as a team, and but the 12-1 doesn't mean a whole lot, going in on Thursday night in West Alabama. So time to put the new team to work and see what comes out of it.
A trip to West Alabama. How are y'all preparing for not only that West Alabama team, but a road test in week one?
Well, there's a lot to it. We're flying, which is nice. That part of it saving us the drive out there is huge. But it's going to be a different weather out there. There's going to be more humidity in the air, that type of thing. So I will say that I think that Texas has allowed us to practice in the heat the last couple 3 weeks. So that part doesn't scare me a ton. But just getting our guys to understand the experience of the trip, we want them to enjoy it. We want them. This is a business trip. At the same time, our guys, get to see different parts of the country they hadn't seen before, those type of things. So we're excited just to get them on the road and get a chance to go and play somebody different out of conference.
And then last question for me, it's the 2023 season. What can we expect to see from the Rams come Thursday night?
Well, I hope you see a bunch of guys excited to play football, and I think you will. We got a very talented group on both sides of the ball, but every opponent that we play this year is going to have a lot of talent, and that's something that we look for in our non-conference games. We want to play great football teams. That bodes well for us. It kind of gets a great you get a good feel about where you're at as a team. And I think you're going to see a bunch of guys that are excited to play the game, that love to go out and compete, and hopefully very disciplined team that's not going to have the dumb penalties and do the things that you do that can help you or can hurt you winning games. So I'm just excited for it. Again, I think this coaching staff has done an awesome job of getting these guys prepared and ready to go for week 1.
Coach, obviously you had one of the premier elite defenses in D2 last year. Lost a couple guys to the transfer portal, lost a couple more graduation. Like, how do you as a coaching staff, what do y'all do to make sure that you're going to bring that same level of elite play again this season?
Yeah, it's about recruiting. It really is. Going out and getting the right kids and the right fit for the program. We're going to lose guys every year to graduation and to portal. That's a new beast. That it's part of it. You either embrace it or you complain about it and fall behind. And that's something that we're going to do. It's all, the program at Angelo State in football has always been about who's in the program and not who's not here anymore. So, we're excited about the kids that we brought in, but the development of our players, we're going to recruit probably 95% of what we do through high schools. And that means those kids are in the program 1-2 years before they're playing. Well, maybe it's definitely 2 years, and then that person has to step up and play instead of getting that third year behind somebody. But that development and the recruiting is going to help us replace the guys that we lose, both the graduation and the portal. And again, I'm excited about that. You can go find transfers, and we'll do that. But at the same time, you got guys that have been in the program 2 years. Those guys are going to be more prepared to play for us right away because they know what to expect. So, that's the biggest thing. To go back and look at last year, had the question about being 12-1. That's what we did last year was hard. That's not common. To go undefeated in a regular season. That's not common. So, the expectation is to win every football game, but you got to understand we're going to play great talent. So same thing with having the top defense in the country. That doesn't happen every year. But guys are going to go out and compete, and if we can get close to that level, I think we're going to have a pretty good football team.
And Coach, West Alabama is not exactly a team that fans here are familiar with.
Yeah.
What do you expect out of those guys this weekend?
Yeah, well, they're a good football team. They play in the Gulf South and beat some really good teams last year. Lost a couple games they probably had a chance to win on that. So if you ask them, I think they would tell you that their record didn't really indicate what they were. They were 5-6 last year, but it's a very physical football team, a very large football team, a lot of length in their group. I think their defense. There's 11 starters on defense that are all seniors. So a lot of guys they're kind of benefited from that transfer portal this year with starters coming back. So a very good football team. They brought in a new offensive coordinator this year, so we'll see how that goes. But man, they're explosive. You better be ready to play, and they're really physical.
And last question here from me, Coach. Got a couple guys that are going to be the premier talents on both your offense and defense this year. Just give the fans kind of like who to watch out for.
Yeah, I'm so excited for Kason Phillips on offense. Our running back. He's had a great camp, getting ready. Alfred Greer coming back. From an injury last year that ended his season early in the season, coming back. Braden Wilcox is a local here from Cristobal that has just been outstanding the last couple, in the spring as well as fall camp here. So offensively, and the whole O-line, we've really gotten better and better in the O-line. At quarterback, Gerald Gardner is going to be the starter coming in week 1, and he's done an outstanding job in his development as well. So I'll talk about those guys on offense. Defensively, man, Eric Rasko is just a complete football player. Does some great things for us with it. And Kahari Watson, Jordan McKinney, the back end guys, Andrew Pitts. Just guys that have had a lot of experience. Those guys are going to be the mainstays in what we do. Leighton English on the defensive line has done a great job too. But you're going to see some new, younger guys in there on defense, especially in the D-line and at linebacker a little bit that I think will have great seasons for us.
Thanks,
Yeah, you bet.